70% of the people in the state of Oklahoma die intestate, meaning they have no will. Did you know that if you didn't have a will in the state of Oklahoma, the house just gets sold and it goes into a general fund for the state of Oklahoma? Who wants that? We want to make sure that we pass it on to our family the best way that we can. And the only way that I know how to do that is to share some vital information with you guys about protecting your assets so that you're not left, actually you're dead, so you don't really care, but your family's not left dealing with all of the aftermath of trying to settle your estate. I heard a shocking statistic, and whether it's true or not, I'm not exactly sure, but the statistic shocked me all the same, which really drove me to record this video. 70% of the people in the state of Oklahoma die, and I hope I'm saying this word right, intestate, meaning they have no will. Their house, all of their assets, everything that they've worked their entire life for is going to be put into a pool for basically the state courts to figure out what to do with it. You have no control over it. You're dead anyway, but your family is going to be stressing out heavily over this, and it could really create a lot of, bad blood between people. So the best thing to do is have a plan. Now, all that said, I'm not an estate attorney. I'm not an attorney at all. So always seek the advice of an attorney on this matter. I'm just here to give you some tips so that you can have a better conversation with your attorney when that time comes for you to do a will, which you should have done already. So yeah, my name is Stacey Hesser, your favorite realtor in all of Oklahoma. And yeah, I'm going to be talking about death. So I don't ever want to say it's a taboo topic, but it seems to be a topic that people just don't talk about. I don't know. We all should. We should all have a plan. We should all have an idea of what we're going to be doing with our money and our things. I've got a new baby. This is Dasher. If you're on my Facebook page, you'll see little snippet videos, but yes, this is his starring role today. There he is. He's a whippet and he's a tripod. He's missing a foot. But sorry, I totally digress. So yes, I want to talk to you guys about what to do to protect what could be your biggest asset, your house. So what happens when you die? Like I said, 70% of the people die without a will, which is just crazy to me. But even having a will doesn't necessarily protect your assets from having the courts decide how things go down. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is joint tenancy with right of survivorship. This is actually something that I've dealt with personally in my personal life, and I've also helped several clients sell homes that had this type of deed on their house. It's fairly simple. Joint tenancy with right of survivorship means that if there's a husband and wife, man, I look about half stoned right here, but I wanted to pause right here because I'm implying that this is for a husband and wife. That is not correct. You can have joint tenancy with right of survivorship with two individuals, so just make sure it's somebody that you can trust, but the surviving individual can proceed with actually selling the house if needed. If the house isn't owned outright, then you have a mortgage on that home, and that mortgage would continue to need to be paid throughout the entire process of settling out the estate. This is really kind of the easiest solution so that you can sell the house quickly without accumulating a lot of costs and putting undue burden on one individual while a probate may be settled or while you're waiting for things to happen. Those bills still need to be paid. So that's kind of the sucky part about all of this. But back to your normal programming. All you need to sell the house is the death certificate of the other half, and then obviously, government issued ID and all that other good stuff. It's really important to have an understanding of what your deed says for your house and have a little bit of an understanding of what it means. Pro tip, pay attention here. Have a title attorney look at the deed of your house beforehand while you're still alive to make sure that you don't have any issues going on with the deed on the house. You can actually create problems pretty easily, especially if you've ever done a quitclaim deed on your house. Oh, Lord help me. So many clouds on title have been created because somebody thought they were doing the right thing with a quitclaim deed and it wasn't done right. So you end up with just more legal problems. Usually, if you have any kind of cloud on title with a house, you're always going to have an attorney involved, and sometimes you're going to have to get a judge involved, which all means time and money to resolve whatever issue there could be. You can even go to a trusted title company, and they may be able to tell you some information if you don't have a title attorney at your disposal. Another way that you can protect your asset is with a trust, because then you have somebody that's managing the trust, and they're going to be the ones that would be dispersing the funds according to your wishes in whatever way that is. Again, I would highly suggest talking to an attorney to get a better idea of a trust and what exactly that can do for you. I also know there's some banks that have trust departments, and they can help you establish a trust as well. But a trust is another way to avoid probate. Probate is bad. You do not want your house to fall into the probate courts. If your home is in the name of a trust, all you need is a copy of the trust documents and the stipulation on whoever it is that's managing that trust. And it doesn't have to be family. You can have it be an attorney. You can have it be somebody that's nonpartisan or won't be influenced by things that may be going on in the family. So a lot of people think that just because they have a will, they're protected. They have a set process and how things are going to be disposed of for their estate. But having just a will guarantees your house, your property are going to be going through the probate process. Probates take a shockingly long amount of time to get resolved too. I thought it would be about a 90-day process. I was wrong. It's more like 6 to 18 months for a probate to go through the entire system. If there's a mortgage on the house, bear in mind that the house payment still needs to be made that entire time. So somebody's going to have to pony that up. The utilities are going to have to continue to be paid. So you really, again, I got to send it home for you guys. I just want to make sure that you're protected and that somebody's not taking on more of a burden in taking on that additional house payment, taking on those additional utilities, taking on the annual taxes, taking on the homeowner's insurance, and all of the good stuff that goes along with home ownership. All of that still would need to be paid even after you die. So yeah, please have a plan. Please have a plan. There's another thing that you can file, which is called let me get it right, transfer of death deed. I've actually not heard of this before, so this was a new one to me, but it is something that you can file, but if it's not filed correctly or if it's not accepted in the state that you're in, then you can create cloud on title again. And I don't mean to use this term cloud on title. Cloud on title just means that there is not a clear path of ownership for the person that currently has title to the house. A will. Did you know that if you didn't have a will in the state of Oklahoma, the house just gets sold and it goes into a general fund for the state of Oklahoma? You've worked your entire life to build up this asset, and it's just going to get sold and put into the general fund of the state of Oklahoma. That's terrible. That's terrible. That's your worst case scenario. So do not do that. At least have a will. At least if there's a will, you have a hope that it could go to the courts. But more importantly, have an understanding of what your deed says for your house so you understand how your asset is going to be disposed at the time of your death. What happens if you have a mortgage on your house when you die? Well, the mortgage is going to get settled up. So the bank's always going to get their cut, but it's going to be on the title company to resolve that. And I don't know, maybe you have some kind of insurance policy, but usually that's separate and apart from the title company and working out their settlement for the final amount that would be dispersed, whether, like I said, it's to individual or a trust or the state general fund. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, good news too. I have it on authority that the state of Oklahoma actually does not have estate taxes. So that's kind of cool. That's definitely a perk of being in the state of Oklahoma. There are definitely things here that you can take away from this and be better educated to, like I said, talk to an attorney, talk to an estate planner, talk to somebody about making sure that your house is protected so that you're not creating some kind of crazy conflict in your family or whoever it is that you would like to have designated to inherit your home. But that's it. That's what I've got for you guys today, talking about death and real estate and how you can protect your biggest asset well, in most cases, your biggest asset, your house. So please have a plan. Like I said, your two best bets are to do a trust or be sure you have joint tenancy with right of survivorship on your deed of your house. But I don't know why people don't talk about death. It's best to have a plan. Sorry, Dasher did not do any dashing. He's just back there sleeping away, but he's being a good boy. Usually he's in here tearing it up. You've noticed I don't have any boxes or anything back there. It's because he's chewing on all of them. I don't know what it is with my dog and cardboard, but there you go. Anyway, if you like this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. And if you love this video, please be sure to subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out and you'll get notified when I upload videos. So until the next time, you guys, bye.